LoungeMediaPro.com.
Headed for self-destruction.
Y'all hear that?
Self-destruction.
You're headed for self-destruction. KRS-One is in the house with us tonight. And that right there was Stop the Violence Movement.
Yeah.
I love that record right there.
Everything you need to know is in that song. I was just listening to each verse on that, and the part with D Nice is like self-sufficient, independent. To teach the each is what rap intended.
Yeah.
That sums it up right there.
I like they call us animals. I don't agree with them. That was heavy with Heavy D, because the Heavy D was so just a party kind of rap that I like how he got deep on that one record. MC Light killed. I mean, everybody kills it. My question to you, KRS, how did you talk to all those people, and what did you say to them to put that record together? Because you have a lot of people on there. You got from Stetsasonic, you got like from Kumo D to Just Ice to yourself, MC Light. I mean, you got a lot of people. I mean, on there. What did you tell each one of these people, and how did you approach them about this whole project when you made that record?
You know, it's funny. Your spirit is alive tonight, because the quick answer is that it goes back to respect. It goes right back to respect. You know, those people obviously had a large respect for what we was already doing. Before that record was out, we was already on the street saying, stop the violence. You know, already Africa Bambaataa had already been doing the gang truces. Ice-T, Africa Islam was already over here with it. There was already a movement on the street. There was two other people I got to give credit to. Nelson George, who's a writer, and Ann Carly, who actually works with Will Smith. I don't know if she still does, but she was the A&R for Will Smith at Jive, and then went to his movie company most recently. But Ann Carly and Nelson George also were like the co-creators of the Stop the Violence movement. I was more the front person, the person everyone knew, the person who carried the philosophy, that kind of thing. But if it wasn't for Ann Carly, who was also the record company side of it, and she was the A&R, she financed the project for us to get it done. And this is what was interesting, because it wasn't so much about the artists back in the days. We all hung out. Everybody was at Latin Quarters. That was basically, that was Union Square, rooftop. And I was like, yo, I'm doing this record. What's up with y'all? You know, like today, you know, I'm quite sure if I call 50 or Eminem or one of them, say, yo, we doing Stop the Violence Part 2. Come on, what they gonna say? No? Of course they're gonna kick a verse, give that 8 bars or whatever it is. The hip hop community is united no matter what. What separates us is our companies, these businesses, these, you know, these other people. And at the time, now you look at each label that was, I mean, Heavy D was Uptown MCA, Just Ice was Sleeping Bag, you had Public Enemy was Columbia, I mean,
Sonic was Tommy Boy.
Yeah. The labels themselves had to be united. And that's what you don't have today. Today, these labels are all clawing at each other's throat. The same way you had dope MCs back in the days that loved what they did, you also had dope CEOs of record companies that loved what they did. You know, we used to have CEOs that used to hang out in the studio with us. You know what I'm saying? They'd be there drinking and doing their thing with us in the studio. So by the time the record come out, you know, the A&R, the label is your man. It's like, he ain't gonna tell you raise the snare. He was part of the chorus. He did the chorus with you. It's like, yo, he was down in the studio. You don't get that today. How many of y'all fake A&Rs that's listening to me right now in your house thinking about how you gonna make your check next week? Y'all fakes. You know what? If there wasn't children in the room, I would say something different. But y'all ain't going to the studio. You sending your artists to the studio. You ain't even showing them the rules, how to get into the studio, how to work the board, how to do his thing, how to save his money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But that's how that record got done back in the days. Everybody's A&R was in the studio. Everybody's CEO was in the studio. The marketing guy, the publicity person, they wanted to be there. Spent their own money, drove their own car. This is after hours, like 8, 9 o'clock at night. You got the staff of the record company down there with you. So when you look at like Stop the Violence, the record Self-Destruction, and then even All in the Same Gang,
Yeah.
And then the Human Education Against Lies, the HEAL Project. These were label heads that were able to say, yo, we're going to step away from the money right now. This is a project that needs to get done. So all I had to do was walk up and say, all right, I'm the one who wants to do this project. And they say, okay, KRS-One, we know what it is.
Yeah.
Boom, here's the cash, do your thing. And we just turn out these magnificent projects. But today, I mean, can I really walk up on Leo Cohen? Yo, Leo, I know you listening over in Warner, wherever you are, Warner Brothers now. Can I really walk up on Leo Cohen right now and say, yo, Leo, I want to do a project. There's no money. The label ain't gonna get. As a matter of fact, when you make money, we're gonna take it and give it away.
Yeah.
Can we actually do that?
Let me ask you this, brother. This is my last question because I'm running out of time here. This is my last question, and this is an extensive question.
And wait. Let me say this.
Yeah.
And big up to Leo because he did give us Public Enemy for the Stop the Violence record back in the day.
No doubt.
I can't front on Leo. But what's up with today, Leo? What's up?
Let me ask you this, man, KRS. Okay, I wanna ask you this in a sense of like, not to have two guys like myself and yourself, older, like down talk to the younger generation. My question is for the younger generation to maybe spark themselves. I'm curious to know, when you go back at those times, your time in your 20s, you know, you were talking and moving and doing leadership things in your 20s, like to stop the violence, the HEAL movement. Ice Cube, he put Death Certificate out in his 20s.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of guys that did incredible. Public Enemy, Chuck D was probably 28, 27 when he was doing that.
Right.
I wonder why these 20-something artists that are out today don't do that. And why do you think that that's missing? What are they missing that they're scared to speak out on the truths, or why do you think that is? Why were y'all so special in your 20s and you know that generation of yours? Just you know what I mean?
Well, you know, the first thing I'd say is it was a different time. I'm not even going to front. It was a whole different time. You know, we were able to walk up to the radio station. I mean, imagine K-Day. You're talking about when K-Day first started.
No doubt.
Where you could walk up to K-Day, open the door, and say, yo, Julio G, here's my record. And you just came from wherever. You just came from M&M's over there, soul food joint. And you just came, and you got your record, and you could walk into it. It was a totally different time, so we thought differently. Today, everything's corporate, and I'm not down in that, but it definitely ain't the street. It ain't people orientated. And back then, when I was in my 20s, it was still people orientated. You could still touch Marley Marl, Red Alert. You could go to, back then it was Kiss FM in New York and these places. You could go to the club. If you did a good performance at a club, somebody was going to see you on a Friday night. Now, back then there wasn't as much money as there is today. Back then there was no money. We did it for the love. We did it because we wanted to do it, and we created the money out of it. So we don't have that mentality today. Today, anybody from the golden age era, it's like, you know, you're just really doing it because you love to do it. We can't even stomach the idea of selling our craft. Like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, we MCs, we get paid to MC. We do concerts. I just came off tour. We get money all day. It's not even on that level. But if somebody says, yo, you know, I want you to do this, and you know when you go back to the hood, you're going to get laughed at. And then the question comes up and says, man, forget them cats in the hood. I got to feed my daughter. Or you say, you know what? We all just going to starve right now. You know, let's just eat this one little thing right here and just leave, because we're going to stand on these principles right now. Both answers are the right answer, but who are you as a person? And that goes to my second part of this answer. Who are you as a person? Today, the 22-year-old wants rims. They want platinum watches. They want the platinum Jesus cross. They want to go out their house and into a Porsche and zoom down the block with a video playing in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? And life just doesn't work like that. Maybe this generation is going to have to wait till they're 40 to figure it out. But let me say this. Everybody from my generation did not think the way I think. And let me say this, big up to my mother, big up to moms, no doubt. I'm going to tell you something that my mother taught me, and I'm just going to give this out. Those that have ears to hear it. This is how I was brought up to think. from my mother. She said, "Little Chris, you are your only best friend. No one is your friend but you. You are your only best friend. Therefore, at 20 years old, I was 10 years old. My mother said at 10 years old, think about who you gonna be at 20 years old, because every decision you make at 10 years old is gonna affect that 20-year-old you. That 20-year-old you is depending on the 10-year-old you to get it right, make the right decisions. So that shook me to the bone. And I tried to make the right decisions. Age 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, till I got to 20. What was the right decisions? There's a liquor store on one corner. There's a library on the same corner. Where do you go? And don't answer the question, because I'm giving everyone a chance to get their act together. Okay, there's the crack dealer on the corner doing his thing. There's a bus with books in it, and they're handing out free books from this bus called Read and Read. And where do you go? Do you say, "Yo, what's up, man? Let me get some in there, man." Yo, or you over there trying to get a book? Both answers, by the way, are the correct answer.
Right.
Who are you? So I started to think about, when I was 20, who am I going to be at 30? The 30-year-old me was depending on KRS-One at 20, 22. That's why when I was battling my best friend, Melly Mel, at Latin Quarters, I said, and I'll try to do it to the beat, dun, 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 dun. 50 years down the line, you can start this, 'cause we'll be the old school artists. And even in that time, I'll say a rhyme, a brand new style, ruthless and wild, running around, spending money, having fun. 'Cause even then, I'm still number one. Now that is the future. You have to ask yourself, do I come from my past or do I come from my future? KRS-One comes from his future.
LoungeMediaPro.com